Hi, this is Dr. Parikh, and you've made it to Module 4. So this is the halfway point. It's also the point where you pull together your paper. So things happen very quickly from here. You'll notice the readings are getting shorter and shorter. These are all fairly specific, so even though there's a bunch of them, um, let's see. So they go there. There's a bunch of them, but they go fairly quickly. So it's a lot of just kind of seeing examples. So the readings are getting shorter, the videos are kind of winding down. Um, you're still doing discussions. This is your first peer review post, so let me take a moment to talk about what happens with that. So when you do the peer review draft, I want to highlight a few things. One is this isn't meant to be a copy and paste of your outline. You'll get most credit if you do, you'll get a good chunk of credit if you do that, but there will be some kind of penalty if it's just an outline. The goal here is that you're taking, if time allows, you're taking my feedback from the outline. That's the ideal because you get feedback from me, you make changes based on that, and then you get feedback from your peers. That's the gold standard. The other option is that but at a minimum, you should be moving this into paragraph form using headings. So at this point, you should have, so we come here into the shared folder. If we look at this, so there's discussion outline, but if we look at this paper template, you should be starting to fill this outline in. So your outline, let's see, not that paragraph, but starting here, you should actually go in and fill these in. So what I'd like to see copied and pasted is, so for this, you could probably just copy and paste these 3 paragraphs pretty easily. The other thing you could do is, and again, this should be your copy, you could copy and paste, or you could copy and paste a link, but if you just take the link, the automatic setting, here, I will show you, let me make a copy, let me save it, I'll just save it to, I'll just save it there, that's fine. No, let me save it to mine, because there are people where everything is shared there. Okay. So if I have this and I want to share it, the default is that it's restricted, only people added. So what I recommend is that every time you are adding something, every time you create a document for this class, I suggest you just add me right away. So you just start writing, it's not going to want to do me because I'm me. Let me cancel that. If you want to copy a link, which is what makes the most sense, you want to make sure that at least everybody in Caldwell University can comment. You always want to make sure that I can edit. That'll make things a lot easier for me. I usually just say anyone with the link can comment, or you can say edit because you can track and undo things really easily. So if you want to copy a link to the document, make sure that you've made it so that people can comment on it. Otherwise, it's not going to go well for you. And the goal really is for you to get high quality feedback from this. Yeah, if it says you don't have access, make sure you're using your Caldwell account. With Chrome, I've started using different accounts. Like, let me see. So here I was using this earlier. So I have it with a bright pink because that's the closest I could get to red for Caldwell, and then I have my home profile separately. So when I'm working in Chrome, I solve the problem that way. You want to go through 2. So you want to comment in their doc if they have a separate doc, or they could have copied and pasted for this one, and then include at least 1 strength and 1 area of improvement. And you want to check to see if there's anyone who has no feedback yet. But if you so if there's someone with no feedback, but it's because nobody can access their document, then feel free to give other people more feedback. I don't know how much I've talked about this so far, but you can get bonus points for doing extra responses in Blackboard, and particularly with these peer reviews, if you give meaningful, detailed feedback. So if you go above my expectation for feedback, and or if you do extra feedbacks, you can get extra points. All right. You're also going to do your introduction outline. This is where you take your concept map and you make it more specific. You've got some APA quizzes still going. Same thing with the peer review. Here, I don't know if I'll be able to get you all feedback in this amount of time, but you're going to be looking for ways to try to improve between your outline and your draft, and then get peer feedback on your draft. And then the last remaining paragraphs, you will do an outline for. You will do your full paper post, and sometime this week you will have gone for your second, or earlier, you'll have gone for your second tutoring session. You will end with the final literature review paper. Now the time you're allowed for peer responses on the discussions goes beyond, but logically it's nice if you can get them done earlier just so that people can use that feedback to improve. This is a big push. It moves very quickly. Module 5 is much lighter. So Module 5 is kind of a recovery module, and it lasts different amounts of time in different, formats of the class. But so for this class, there's a big push, you get a breather, and then there's one more big push, and then you do final edits, and then you're pretty much done. So that's the way this course just flows. But you are at the halfway point. You will be through a huge milestone, and generally people who get through the final literature review get through the class. People who turn in an on-time, complete final literature review paper almost always pass the class. So those are really exciting things. You've made big milestones, and I am so confident that I will be proud of you. Take good care. Bye-bye.